Gold jacket, green jacket, who gives you?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Gold Jacket, Green Jacket podcast. We're here for episode number 56, I believe. My name is Christian Dragonetti. I'm joined, as always, by my good friend and Australian PGA professional, Mr. Joel Mitchell. And Jolie, mate, we've got a guest.
I'm so excited for
I'm so excited for this one as well. This has been a long time in the making. We are joined by the one and only...
the beautiful boy to our left.
Absolutely. Mr. Toby Walker. Toby, mate, thank you for coming.
My pleasure, lads. My pleasure.
It's like we said, it's been a long time in the making. Mm-hmm. We've been wanting to do this for a little while.
Absolutely. You reached out to us. You literally sent it as a text. So we tried to actually organise something quite a while ago and the schedules didn't line up.
No.
And now...
perfect.
We're on.
It's almost
We're on. Let's go.
This is the calm before the storm.
That's it.
In your schedules, mate, because there's been some things that have been happening, which we'll get stuck into very shortly.
Yeah, we'll stick to the schedule and the routine that we have, and then we'll dive into what we all want to know.
Absolutely,
about Tobes and his journey.
Because, like I said, there's been some major updates with your golf, especially, and we're really psyched for you. But first, let's get stuck into recent rounds. I feel like I should go first because you guys are both going to talk about the same event.
Yeah, we'll relate the most to ours, and I don't want to dive into mine too much.
You can we can because yours is a lot better than mine. I'll tell you that much for free.
No, it's fucking not.
Yeah, it is.
It's not.
Well, I mean, you played in a pro-am, so I played a typical Saturday morning round at Heidelberg Golf Club.
I didn't play as a pro though.
It was stroke medal.
Sorry, go.
I played in a stroke medal event and had 78 net. Like, it was really average golf, like 30 points. All right, really bang average golf.
It's good.
Yeah.
Once again, like last week, you're this close. Though.
I'm fucking that
You're
close.
this close, you muppet.
Every week, Tobes, just
You
for a bit of context.
muppet.
I'd say I'm that far away.
78's good if you're playing off like net. If you're playing off +8.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's great. But I'm not.
When you're playing off,
I'm playing off 8.
When you're actually playing off 8, yeah, exactly.
When I'm playing off 8 and I need all the help I can get, it ain't that crash hot, Tobes. I'm sorry to say. But yeah, I'm just going to steer clear. I'm going to lean back in my chair now and let you two discuss a recent pro-am at a venue of which that we're going to be pretty familiar with in the coming weeks.
Yes, we, myself and Tobes played a pro-am out at Yarrambat.
Absolutely.
It's the first one, I think it is, that they've had out there.
First one in, I think it was like 17 years.
Serious?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really
serious.
Yeah, 17 years since the last one.
Far out. Well, the Yarrambat as a golf club was established in 2005, I think it was. So they must have had one or two trying to establish the golf club. So that probably makes sense.
Yeah.
But first one that I've seen and played in, of course, and I was having fun for 13 holes. I was quite lucky. I was sitting at like 6 under through 13.
Yep.
And then handed the golf bag to someone that played off 31, and I finished 1 under for the round. Yeah, you may as well have
I
played.
did awesome.
So I was 6 under through 13. I started on 17, and I was cruising. Made birdie on 11.
6
I was
under
happy
through
with
13.
that.
When you told me that the other day,
Shut
I
up.
was like, holy.
Yep, like I said,
I'd seen your scorecard before I called you.
I want to talk about Tobes. I don't want to talk about this because this makes me want to cry. Anyway, 6 under through 13. I made birdie on 11, doubled 12, doubled 13, hit it on the path on 12, long into the shit. Hit it into a bush on 13, unplayable. Parred 14, birdied 15, put it in the piss on 16, took double up that and walked home and tried not to cry walking down 1.
But it's all right because you only cost yourself about $1,500.
Yeah. You know what the worst thing was? I was walking down 14 and I'm like, I haven't checked the leaderboard. I wonder where I was sitting. And I've gone from 6 under to 2 under, and 2 under put me a shot behind you sitting at top 2. And I'm like, I was leading by 3. Because I figured one of you guys was sitting at 6 or 7 as well. I'm like,
it's an expensive day.
I was leading by 3. I'm like, and instant depression.
Yeah.
Instant. I've stood over the tee on 15 going, I hate this fucking.
So
this
much so that
sucks.
you didn't touch a golf club over the weekend, pretty much.
Nah, because
if that was your recent round.
Myself and Marcus had a schedule going, and I shouldn't have played Saturday, so I didn't play today.
Okay.
My day off was yesterday, so then I play tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. Anyway.
Cool.
So, yeah, finished 1 under, so that's fun. So I want to
Anyway,
die
enough
now.
for you. Tobes, you played
on the
all right.
toes, on the toes.
Mate, I played good, but I putted like horrendous.
Yeah,
Terrible.
I was the same.
Yeah, right.
I had like 5 3 putts that day.
Oh, shit.
5
And still
3
had 3
putts.
under.
But mind you, we'll get into this a bit later, but I got off a plane Wednesday morning from China, then went straight into work and didn't touch a club being back home. So those greens felt lightning, right?
Right.
And I was in all sorts.
Really?
No good.
To put in perspective,
good.
guys, he shot 3 under par and had 5 3-putts.
It's fucking impressive.
Impressive.
It's very fucking
Dude,
impressive.
if he putted remotely like someone that plays off pluses or a tour
well,
player.
put it this way. If
Well,
you
it's
have,
a bit hard to.
Or
'cause
Jack Newton.
Or,
Yeah. I don't understand what's going on.
Jesus Christ. We're off to a heater, guys. You do.
I don't know what the fuck's going
Research
on.
that later.
Who's that bloke?
Oh, research that later.
Couple more of them, mate, and you'll end up like him.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You'll forget where you are and just walk into a plane.
Oh, God.
People won't understand that, though.
Good. I'm glad. I kind of think that's a good thing. For some reason, something in the pit of my stomach tells me that's probably not a bad thing.
That's pretty funny.
So, yeah. But again, if you had sort of 2 3-putts as opposed to 5,
It's funny, though. Like, you know what? I reckon.
calm it down, bruv. Do you need to go out of the room for a minute?
That got me soft. It's not funny. It's not. It's terrible.
It's a little bit funny.
It's not. It's terrible. I can't.
But like,
Anyway, sorry.
like Joel, you'd know. Like every time a golf course has a pro-am, I reckon they just trick it up too much.
Sometimes it's a bit like, okay, it's unnecessary.
It's like groundskeeper's revenge. It's like, let's make sure these pros
Cop it.
have a shit day.
Like I grew up, for example, like to complement what you're saying, I grew up at Yarrambat, and you've played it a million times as well. Like I grew up there, and there was pin positions on Friday that I've never seen before.
Correct.
I've never seen them there before.
Yeah, right.
Even on a Saturday medal during a club champs, and I'm like, wow, this is new. I've
guess-
never seen it.
I guess those pins are actually pretty good, but like if the greens were normal speed,
Correct.
like when you put those pins tucked on slopes, halfway up slopes, and then make them a bit fast, it's
So they were pretty quick, were they?
quick for Yarrambat.
For Yarrambat, yeah.
It's like we all know Heidelberg here quite well. It's like pretty much putting a pin on the bottom of the frontier on 6, right?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
on the top. You've got no chance.
Yeah.
You've got nothing. You can't
You
do
got
anything.
3-foot putts breaking.
You're rolling 3 wood
half
from
a
the
foot
you're
and-
rolling 3 wood from the tee box.
Did you notice
lift it
I,
on the green.
I had a
Yeah.
birdie putt on the second green on Yarrambat. I had a birdie putt straight up the hill. It was like 12 feet. And I'm like, oh, it's up the hill. I've got to give it a bit of a run. And I went a foot past and it came back 6 inches.
Jesus
I almost did almost put backspin on a putter. I'd almost hold it.
Jesus.
It came back 6 inches. I'm like, oh boy, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, right,
It's
okay.
it was bizarre. So it was tough, but
But no, just before we move on, speaking of Yarrambat, we do have the golf day coming up at the end
Yes.
of the month. Now, we
Yes.
were telling Toby about this earlier, and he was pretty interested, to say the absolute least.
Yeah, for sure.
So you might see on the table just in front of us, we've got a couple of little pieces of, there's a 6-pack there and a couple of hats from Clutch & Co. So a massive shout out to all the sponsors.
once again, advertisements,
Advertisements, product placement,
appreciation.
as Mark would put it from Chasing Birdies.
Absolutely.
So we've got Clutch & Co., Moondog Brewery, Flat Stick, H Golf, Wilson Golf, and Marcus Raptor.
And Raptor.
Raptor.
Like I said, we won't disclose what
We
he's
won't
contributed
disclose-
yet. You'll know on the day.
Yeah.
And hopefully we're not in the position to
If I cop
his service.
what Raptors offered, I'm not happy. I'm not
I
happy.
think you can all guess. Anyway.
I'm not happy.
Anyway.
Toby, we're here to talk about you, mate, and thank you again for coming in.
My pleasure.
You've just, as you mentioned, got off a plane a few days ago, coming back from China.
Yeah.
And if you follow Toby on social media, you may have seen that the trip to China was a very successful one. You went over for Chinese tour Q school,
Yep.
and you walked away with a full tour card.
Correct. Yeah.
To sum it up,
Yeah.
I want to know everything.
Everything.
Yeah, so talk us
'Cause
through
you've
first
had-
stage, what you placed, what you shot, then final stage as well, and what the final stage exemption gets you, what it gets you. So I've been involved in a couple Q schools now, so I understand and haven't made it in any of them, right? But I understand
Yet.
Yet,
Yet.
correct.
It's coming.
Yet,
Come
until
on.
April.
That's it.
But I understand what they can get you
Yeah.
and what they can't sometimes, depending on what cut you make or what stage you get to. So talk us through it.
Well, pretty much first time going to China, right?
Yeah, huge.
So I was like, you know what? I was sick of Australia. I've been playing in Australia for the last 2 years on tour.
Yeah.
haven't got the most out of it, haven't performed that well. I want to change. So I decided I'm going to head over to China. It just suited the schedule. So I was like, all right, let's do it. Let's just bite the bullet and we'll go over. So I had to go to first stage and we went down to Hainan Island. Sorry if that's not how you say it.
Yeah.
Give it a crack.
But first stage was in Hainan Island. It's also their winter down there as well. So I got off, so I left Melbourne, went straight to Gonzai. It's 7 degrees in the airport, and then you're like, "Oh no, this is brutal. It's snowing."
It's 37 here.
Yeah, literally. Then went from Gonzhou to Hainan Island, and that was where the first stage was, and such a weird setup.
Yeah.
How many rounds were there?
There was 4 rounds for first stage, right?
For first, okay.
So obviously 2 rounds, then the cut, then you play the next 2, and top 40 advance.
Okay.
But
Okay, that's
they have
pretty
a little bit different rules. So practice rounds are in golf carts. You always have to have a caddy.
Right.
You can't play without a caddy.
Wow.
Caddies over there, you have to pay them. It's like $250. You almost feel a bit sad for the caddies over there because that's the only
Source of income they've got.
especially like if they work at the golf course for the day and they don't caddy, they don't get paid.
Oh,
Yeah,
They
right.
only get paid
Yeah,
for the
right.
caddy.
So it's like a tip sort of setup.
You also the worst thing about it is you have to actually pay for your round every day.
Like a green fee.
Green fee.
Really?
They're playing at like the best golf courses over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
Wow,
like-
I've never
it's
heard
still-
of that.
yeah.
Jesus.
And it doesn't matter that it's Q
Mate,
school.
round 1, I finished. I played my round and I just went home and I got a phone call all in Chinese of this guy like, "You have to pay your green fee." And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, right.
So you have to,
Really?
you have to pay your green fee every day.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, that first golf course, I rocked up. You don't see the sun over there because of the smog. So
Right.
you don't see the sun at all. It'll be
Was it like really hazy? Is it?
super hazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Okay.
So it's
super
But like
smoggy,
air
smog and
pollution sort of
yeah.
thing.
yeah,
Wow.
ridiculous. So it's just you don't see the sun.
Here's my question: did that affect the round? Like, did that affect the way you played, or was it just a visual thing?
Mate, the visuals in China are so weird. You're playing on massive open paddocks. So the depth perception over there is ridiculously different.
Yeah.
Right.
You'll have like a 200-meter hole and it would look 80 meters. Then you'll have like
Serious?
a 80-meter hole and you're like 4-iron and the caddy's like,
Sandwich, dude.
60 meters, dude. What are you doing? Obviously they don't say English. It's in
Yeah,
Chinese,
of course.
But you're like, okay, this is really weird.
Wow. Okay.
But I got there and the first practice round, get there, look down the first hole, and Dad actually came over with me. for
Oh,
the
good.
holiday,
Yeah,
That's cool.
And I looked down the first hole and I said, Dad, this is going to be a very short fucking week. That is the tightest and longest golf course I have ever played in my life.
Serious.
It was about 7,600 meters.
Whoa.
We did not play a par 3 at first stage under 210 meters for the
What
whole
the
week.
fuck?
Huh?
And
Does the ball go further, or is it?
Hang on. Past 72?
Past 72. Felt like 80 out there. I wish the golf ball went further because you needed it out there. Ridiculous.
Oh my God.
7,600 meters.
And the worst thing is it's windy every day because it's on the water. Like it is.
Diabolical.
But you're looking down the
That's
fairways
brutal.
and you're like, I have to almost walk sideways down the fairways to fit. That's how skinny they were.
So for
Just sucking it in.
Yeah.
So for anyone listening that doesn't know Toby or doesn't know you at
Or
all,
yeah, if you're not watching on
Toby's
YouTube.
6'4"
Yeah.
and like I don't
Nah,
want
sorry.
to
Nah,
disclose
come on.
anything.
Come on.
But he's a fucking big human.
What's the weight? You got to
You're-
say the weight. Offend me. Say it.
no.
Let's go-
But
let's
see,
get it.
I got to give you
You've
credit.
dug yourself. I'm
no,
saying silent.
no.
You're in a 2. You're
No,
in a 2.
but you're a larger human than us two, especially.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're like, and you should see this guy hit the ball. It's like you feel sorry for it, but
Yeah.
like, and I got to give you credit. You look amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You've done very well.
You're looking fucking fit.
Like you look amazing.
Well, you probably don't worry. I won't say that, but that's all right.
No, you don't have to disguise anything
we
you
won't
don't
get
want.
cancelled this episode.
Okay.
Maybe next one.
That's
But
it.
yeah,
But
well,
yeah, tight as anything,
that's-
golf course.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Tight.
And are you just hitting 2 iron off every tee box just for safety? Or
Well, mate, the first round I did, I tried to play. Actually, also the other curveball. If you don't shoot 88 or less, you get kicked out.
Huh?
So it doesn't matter,
So-
cut or
So
not.
there's nobody out there.
88 plus on your bike.
Oh, right.
So
yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah. Sorry.
shoot like 89,
Yeah.
You never
you're
come back.
not teeing it up
The next day.
the next day. And I'll get into it a little bit more after first stage because the scores around that joint for how hard that golf course, there was like a third of the field got kicked out like after round 2.
Serious.
Shooting like 90s, like more than 88s. Ridiculous.
First stage.
First stage.
Fuck me.
First stage. And
There'll
like,
be no trainee in Australia that'll pass.
No.
so, mate, round
I mean-
one.
One.
Mate, yeah. yeah.
But
I'd make it to round 2.
you know what? It's the visual effect over there that gets you because it's actually not that tight. It just looks really tight, knowing that like there's no water on the golf course. It's just shrub. So it's literally the shrubs marked with OB either side of the fairway. So if you miss the fairway,
You take it up again.
you're pegging it up again.
Yeah, right.
There's no I'll drop it up there.
No.
A couple of holes, yeah, but
Far
That's
around.
crazy.
like you hit
Daunting.
like your
So-
balls are on the line every
so
single
given
shot.
that, what did you shoot? Like
So, I shot-
like, I want to ask you. It's the same question, but what was your best score through first stage? Because you said there was a curveball in second stage, but first stage, what was your best score and what was your worst score out of the 4 rounds?
So I shot 3 over first round,
Yeah.
3 over second round.
Is that good? Like, because that's
Well, I felt like it was good, right?
yeah.
But the guy that won first stage also shot like, I think it was Andre Lorty.
Yeah.
Right.
I think he finished 8 under.
For the 2 rounds.
No,
for the 4.
for the 4 rounds.
And is that
Right.
unreal?
I thought it was. I was like, he beat me by 18 shots. I had 10 over.
Jesus.
That's to make it, dude.
And you still got out of
finished-
first stage. You
Oh,
shot
well,
18 over.
I finished 22nd at first stage
Jesus.
with 10 over. With 10 over.
To put
par.
in perspective, guys, that is blown my mind. That is blown my mind. If you're over par, period.
Okay,
At
so-
Aussie Tour Q school, you're getting laughed at.
Yeah,
You
correct.
won't even make it through first stage cut.
There are some events. There are some events that I look at you play and see the scores that those boys are producing, and yeah, fair enough. You can account bad days or whatever.
of
else.
course.
Tough golf courses.
Yeah.
but some of those scores, I'm like, he should not be shooting that number. I know. I've heard Joel speak about this bloke or whatever it might be. That bloke does not produce that number. For you to finish in 22nd position with 18 over par,
No,
right?
10 over.
10
sorry,
He was
10
18
over.
behind.
and you were
leader.
18
Yeah.
behind the leader.
That's
Andre,
crazy.
right?
Yes.
Probably played 4 of the best rounds of his life.
Well, Andre probably.
I don't care. I've never met the bloke, and I don't mean to discredit him in any way, shape, or form.
No,
but
no.
based on what you've just told
Andre's
us,
a great golfer.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
Right?
That's crazy.
That's crazy numbers.
Mate, Andre had 7 under last round too. Like ridiculous. But like, mate, that golf
is so
course,
good.
every shot, you just feel so daunted. Like as the week went on, you got more and more comfortable.
yeah, of course.
But just knowing that if you miss the fairway or put one bad swing on it at the worst time, you're playing 3 from the tee.
Straight away. Yeah, there's
First-
no questions asked.
First round, I was playing pretty well. I missed a heap of putts the first 4 holes. Then I went bogey, triple. And I'm like, I'm going home. I'm going to shoot 88. I'm going to shoot 88. I'll play 1 round in China. That's it. I'm done. But nah, it is wide.
Yeah. But it just doesn't.
It does not look wide.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow.
And it's long, man.
Yeah.
I hit 2 iron into 1 par 3. And I hit the ball, I reckon,
To
pretty
put
far.
in,
Yeah.
you reckon you hit the ball pretty far. Toby swings it at you cruise on course low to mid 120s. Yes,
Yeah, like 128 normal, like stock on course.
128 is 11 mile an hour quicker than the tour average.
Yeah. It's 12. It's
What do you
15
mean? Yeah.
It's 15 mile an hour quicker than
128.
me. Like,
I swing it at like on course is like 114,
it's
115.
more than that. It's
That's-
20 mile an hour quicker than me.
Yeah, I swing it at about 114, 115 cruising on course. And if I need to gain a bit of speed, I'll gain 3 mile an hour quicker. That's about it.
For some
and
of-
he's 10 to 12 mile an hour quicker.
For some of our more,
And hits it straight.
Most of the time.
Well, yeah, would have had to.
for some of our more local listeners who might know our golf courses a little bit better.
Yeah, tell them
right?
about the
this is 5 or 6 years ago, granted, right? We played the longest day, right?
That was about 5 years ago, wasn't it?
Right.
That was
Yeah.
the best day, wasn't it?
And
Wild.
Tobes,
I'm still
right,
drunk from that day.
For reference, the 5th hole at Heidelberg is 265 meter par 4.
Yeah.
Tobes put the ball on the green 4 times in a row with 2 iron, like flown it, hasn't bounced it on. He's flown it pin high.
So that
265
that
out.
complements what you just said. That you're hitting 2 irons into par threes,
Into
and
par
he
three.
hits his 2 iron 240.
240.
Yeah, let's say 240.
You crunch one, you can probably land it on the green at Berg, right?
Yeah.
I have to smoke 3-wood with a pretty nice draw to get it to pitch anywhere in between 235 to 240.
I have to smoke driver with a 60-kilometer wind up my ass.
And he's hitting 2 iron. So yeah, fuck, that's crazy. Anyway,
because it was windy as well, like, and the greens are tiny,
really,
so small.
So you're probably standing over golf shots thinking, right,
just-
I've got to be dead on with my accuracy. I've got to be dead on with my distance control. And then you go, oh, fuck, and it's blowing too. How am I going to do this?
It was blowing. It was wet, smoggy as, bunda, both sides of the fairway. So you're tense every
Just
shot. Like
Gumby.
it's so hard to like just loosen up.
what? Out of curiosity, what made it to second stage? What made it to final stage? So top 40. What
Mate,
was top 40?
I think it was something like 17 over par. Made it through.
Oh,
That is ridiculous.
I think they're 17 or 18 over. And the brutal thing is, like, China, they look after their own a little bit.
okay.
So there's no count back. Sorry, it's all count back. So it's like top 40. So if you're tied 40th
you're in trouble.
and you're an Aussie or a non-China fella, you're going. Like they look after their own.
Luke actually mentioned this in the 52nd episode that when he played over on the ADT, that there's rules for the locals that let's say foreigners didn't get.
Yeah.
So he went over there and he got a different ruling to the locals. They helped.
And that was mostly around like getting relief drops and stuff.
yeah,
like
like
that.
drops and
Did he
rulings.
bring up the red ant hill? No. Imaginary ant, red ant, and you're like, there's no ant there. Rules official comes over, red ant gets a drop. Yeah, so it is
That's
completely different.
crazy. Wow, wait, okay.
But so I met a bloke over there, Scott Adams. He's a New Zealander fella. He's a bit older. He lives in Malaysia at the moment.
Yeah.
And he finished one shot outside. So he was first emergency
Right.
for final stage. So we go to final stage. So he came over to final stage. And now he's sitting fourth emergency.
Oh, of
And
course,
there's three Chinese fellas. So the China do look after their own. You got to have a category.
Yeah.
Or else you could get
kicked out. Yeah,
Or you
righto.
got to be clear and away in
Yeah,
there.
but man, there's so many rules over there, like with the golf.
Yeah.
I'll get more into it after the final stage, but yeah,
Where?
ridiculous.
So you went 3 over 3 over the first 2 rounds, 6 over and make the cut.
Yeah.
And then you obviously got to 10. So I'm assuming you went 2 and 2.
See, we're shocked, but
So
you
I had-
kind of pissed it in, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I did.
You made
Long
it
story-
clear as day.
long story short.
You made it clear as day.
but it doesn't feel that way when you're
No.
playing final round and you know that if you shoot 88,
You're going
gone.
home.
and like that last day was windy.
Yeah.
Like holy shit, that was windy.
Yeah,
That's
right.
Like I remember hitting driver. I think I hit a driver like 370 meters one day, like one hole, and then I hit a driver 230 and pumped it. I'm like, oh no, this 88's getting
This
closer
ain't
and
it.
closer. But yeah, this third day I shot 4 over,
Yep.
and I was like, oh, that's all right. Then I get in there, and it was sort of like thereabouts. And then final stage, I just played really well.
Yeah.
I had even par for the day.
Final round
final-
in first stage.
final round.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Final round,
Yeah.
final round first stage. I had even par,
Yeah,
and
and
I was like, yeah, this is
You're
solid.
probably on top of the world.
yeah,
thinking
pretty
that.
much. I got to the last hole. I booted 17 and I was 1 under, and I'm like, oh, okay, just don't make 20 up the last. And the last hole was just like, I hate the wind off the left, and it was off the left. And it's this big sweeping dogleg right. And if you miss it right, it's just out of bounds.
Yeah.
And I hit my tee shot, and I'm like, oh no, I've made 10. But I just flushed it. So it just flew over the out of bounds, ended up making 5. And yeah, that was it.
That's
That's
mint.
Shot even par, and we're off to final stage for, yeah.
Right, final stage. So is that 4 rounds as well?
No, final
that-
stage is 5.
Oh, okay. So
Whoa.
there's
That's
but,
different.
But over in
Yeah.
I think the Asian tour has 6 rounds in the final
6.
stage.
I think Europe has 5 and 6 as well.
Yeah, 5
And they
and
just
6 as
keep
well.
cutting more and more people
Yeah,
out.
they keep
Yeah.
chopping
Throughout.
it back. You have to be in like for the Aussie tour to put it really simple. In the first stage, you got to be after the second round cut, you got to be within 10 shots of the final spot. So unless you went 100,
Don't get. Yeah.
you'll pretty much play the final day.
Yeah.
because there's only 3 rounds in the first stage.
Yeah.
And then after the first stage, now they've got the 2 sections, so you need to be in top 18
okay.
out of off one of the sections, whatever course you get put on, and then
In Australia.
yeah.
So why do they change that to 2 stages, 2 golf courses? Because when I went to tour school in Oz, it was just 1.
Yeah, I don't know. They did that last year. So I think it was to
We-
cater for more people.
That's what
And
that's
just-
what we kind of came to. We were talking about it last
I'm
year.
not
as Joel-
actually 100% sure on the reasoning because
As Joel went
there was
through it.
there was like 72 to 75 on each course. So
What's your preference if you had a choice?
No,
with
hang
what?
on. We spoke about
with which course or how would have it?
No, like if you go to first stage and you play Legends and Open.
I played Legends, yeah.
If you had a choice, what would you play? What would you much rather play for Tiller School first stage?
I'd rather play the
at
Open.
Moona.
Yeah.
I'd rather play the Legends. I'd rather play the Legends. It's
Really?
supposed to be an easy golf course.
Mate, that first hole on the Legends golf course I hate.
I'd rather play the Open.
I need a bushfire to go through
yeah.
that.
I love the Open.
That
So
first hole.
we discussed this last year though when we were talking about you going through Oz to a Q school, right? The reason, and I just remembered it right. The reason why they put it over 2 golf courses is exactly that reason. People were, from what I remember talking about, people had been complaining about copping the better half of the draw, so to speak.
Yeah, they didn't want a morning in Arvo Fields and there was slow rounds, I guess.
So basically, they
That's
Try
so
to
they
make
gave
it more fair.
they put
so
everyone on 2 golf courses and then just
there was 70,
similar
70
times,
players and it was in between, I think it was 7:30 and 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
So it was
and everyone was done by
it made
5:30.
it made sense, but I would have liked the opportunity to play in
Both
the same
courses.
field as everyone there. And like if the scoreboard had been combined, so I was on the Legends comparing to the scores on the Open, would have been fuming, but it wasn't.
No.
So I think they actually did it well. Considering what the format was, it was a little confusing with Section A, Section B,
Might
and
be the
stuff like
first
that.
thing they've done well in their whole entire journey.
But I'm like, this is done well for what it is. But then again, when I came in, I saw that I was 19th out of the top 18. So I was literally a shot out of making it to final stage. And I had an average week in terms of, well, first round was average, but and I'm waiting in the clubhouse for an hour and a half. And then I get tapped on the shoulder by an official going, oh, you got to go out and have a playoff now. I'm like, can I go hit balls or something? I've been sitting here for an hour and a half. Right? He goes, none enough on tee in 5 minutes. So I'm standing on the first tee of the Legends going,
Stiff.
fuck knows where this is going to go.
Yeah.
And I end up making par back to the first and then lost the playoff. And I'm like, didn't know
Rattled.
what it was. I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, final stage.
So final stage for China.
I'll give you a rundown as well. What's different to Aussie and China? So we touched base on this a little bit before, but China, they have everything planned for you.
Yeah.
Every event you play, like they've got shuttles from the hotel. They put
Yeah.
you up in a hotel for a cheaper rate,
Yeah.
and it's just so well run.
There's just another level
cool.
of being looked after.
Correct.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Like
I
they
like it.
they care.
Yeah.
They care about you.
So what's the difference between the China tour and the Asian tour specifically? Of course, it's Asian tour covers
Asia,
a continent.
Asia's still a bigger tour, right?
Yeah,
You got
yeah,
the
yeah.
international series, and that's partnered with Live.
Yeah.
China's pretty much another Aussie tour because the top 3 get European tour cards on the list.
Yeah.
But we play for more money over in China. It's
Okay.
like a minimum of 250, 300,000 US every week.
Okay, so that's about 450 Aussie. sort of
Correct.
thing.
And
yeah.
we get the first event of the season for us is Volvo Championship, the European Tour event.
Oh, that's
Right,
mint.
okay.
Yeah, in
That's
Shenzhen
awesome.
or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's
which is
so
cool.
sick. How
Which
many
is cool.
events are there on the China tour?
23.
Whoa.
Yeah. 23 with 3 European Tour events.
Okay, so 20 and then the 3 are co-sanctioned if you're ranked
Correct.
high enough.
So I'm pretty sure it might be like top 20 at tour school. It's definitely in.
Yep.
Could go down to top 40, just depending.
Okay.
And then pretty much, I think top 40 keep their card in China from the year after.
Okay, yeah.
So,
yeah.
yeah. Which
Okay,
is
so
cool.
plenty of opportunity.
Yeah,
And you're
definitely.
obviously playing in all 23, I'd imagine.
Well, I'm on the border for the European Tour events
Okay,
at
cool.
this point in time.
Okay, so you got 20 guaranteed.
I've got 20 events guaranteed.
That's mint. That's
so
so
mint.
mint. So final stage, what'd you shoot? So there's 5 rounds.
Final
Is there,
stage, I
is there
shot.
second round, third round, fourth round cut?
So round 1 and round 2,
Yeah.
cut.
Yeah.
Round 3 and round 4, cut. And
So
then-
what was round 2 cut? Was top
So
what?
there was 200. We started with like 210 players.
Yeah.
It got cut down to 150 after round 2.
60
that's not
players
much.
gone like that.
60 players gone like that. Then
Okay.
round 3 and round 4, it went from top
150.
150 to 70.
Yeah, so
So
that's
half.
like that's like your standard PJ Tour event. It goes
Yeah.
from top 156 to 72.
Correct. So it's like the first
more
rounds
than
are pretty
half.
much like qualifying for the event, really. You just got to
Yeah,
get inside
yeah.
that top 150 and then it's
Then you're
game
golden.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, top 70. If you are in the top 70, you get status for the year. You just
Right.
get conditional. So you might get the first
So it's like
8
a category.
events.
It's like a random
You might
category.
get the first 8 events of the season before they re-rank.
and if you do well enough in the top 8 in those 8
Yeah.
events, you get re-ranked into a better.
yeah, opportunities for you. Yeah. But top 40, no matter what, like guaranteed, you get 20 events straight up.
Yeah, right.
That's mint.
So
So
Yeah,
what
that's
did you
awesome.
shoot? Was
Huge.
it did you play better in the final stage?
man, I played really good for those 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I played really good for 10 over, being the first week in China.
Yeah,
like expectations, dealing with them,
Yeah.
different sort of golf course, and
Yeah.
then final stage, I played really well. I had even par for the 5 days,
Yeah, so that's
so it was solid.
what was that? What did that give you in terms of leaderboard?
I
Was that
finished like 32nd.
okay.
I had 2 over last day,
Yeah.
but like when you're
On the
asking-
same course?
Nah, so we played sort of like Australian tour school. It was over 2 golf courses, same venue, 2 golf courses. So we played one golf course 3 times and the other twice.
Yeah.
Just switched over.
Was it-
each round?
Were they I'm
Long.
tipping it's still long but easier?
Definitely easier.
Definitely easier.
I
okay.
think the winning score was like 18 under.
Yeah.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, or 16. Might be
Yeah.
16.
And you
16.
had even for the tournament.
I had even, but so many people with full Asian tour cards came back to China for final stage. It was ridiculous, and people on the challenge tour. So I met a lot of new people over there.
Yeah.
Of course.
Like Ollie Roberts, who had a full year on challenge tour last year,
Mm.
and he chose to come back to China instead of challenge.
Wow.
Kevin Yuan, full,
Yeah, Kev,
full Asian tour card.
Yeah, right.
No need to go to China at all. Went to China final
Maybe
stage.
just a new opportunity.
Why is that though?
Mate, got no idea.
Yeah, right.
No idea. Like an extra 20 events just in case he doesn't get everything, but he's already in everything for
Yeah,
Asian
that's a
tour.
good. That's
Maybe
a
it's
good
just
shout.
pick and choose, maybe. I don't know.
yeah,
Could be
literally.
That's bizarre. Yeah, right.
So-
just to guarantee himself
so
like a safety
so
blanket.
you
or
came
something.
32nd, so you
30
got
second.
everything.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, get everything apart from
The 3.
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
border of the 3
Yeah,
European
yeah. But
tour
if you
events.
have a solid season or
So if I keep my card this year on China tour, then you guaranteed those events. So top 4
The next season.
The next season.
That's
so
sick.
20. What's
That's sick.
26?
Yeah.
what preparation did you do in the lead up? Because you obviously see Tim Wood.
Timmy Wood. Seen Timmy Wood for 13, 14 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
a long time.
Yeah, that's a long time. So what
Good time.
preparation did you do? Is it any different or than to
Mate.
what you were previously doing?
No, not at all.
Really?
It's just mainly just changing your equipment a tiny bit. Pretty much just changing your lob wedge.
Mentality change at all? No.
Nah. Like if you're changing, it's too late.
Yeah, correct.
no,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
chill.
yeah. Sorry, I shouldn't say change. It's more or less an improvement or an update, maybe.
Mate, like it's like anything in life. You got to get outside your comfort zone. It was more of an experience for me to go over and learn. Like I want to become a golf coach. I don't
Yeah.
want to play for the rest of my life. No
Yeah.
way. I
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to coach. So it's more to just go over there and see what it's like and just gain experience and knowledge, right?
Yeah.
And
And
it
you
just,
just-
worked out in my favor.
Yeah.
But nothing changes. But like that first week, I didn't play with a lob wedge
Really?
because the lies was so nice and fluffy. Everything set up. I didn't need it. So I played with the 3-iron and 2-iron instead of a lob wedge.
Yeah,
Like
right.
stuff like that. So
Unreal.
hitting into
which-
those longer par 4s and
Correct.
par 3s. Yeah,
correct.
right.
So
Yeah,
it's
fair
like
enough.
stuff like that you learn and you get experience and
Yeah.
you can pass that on. But final stage, mate, the golf courses were just immaculate.
Yeah, really.
Oh, so good.
That's
So
incredible.
nice.
If you had to just again for our local audiences compare them to stuff that you've seen here, obviously the Sandbelt
Mate,
Apparently, like
nothing.
from what I've heard, like
Could not
courses
compare.
over in Thailand,
could
and
not compare in the sense
Malaysia
that
is they're like different. They're like just different. You can't
could
even.
Could not compare.
because they're just different golf courses,
Like,
or
did you
because it's
play-
better.
Like, did you watch that international series in Asian tour where they played Delhi in
Yeah.
India?
Yeah.
Like, you know how tight that golf course was?
Yeah.
It's like that.
Oh Jesus! Okay.
Really.
It's like that. And
Yeah.
long. And it's like, fuck.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But in terms of, you said it was unreal and immaculate, and I'm assuming you're talking about the quality of the golf course.
Just the quality of the golf course, like different greens, right? They play real grainy because of the weather and humid, so they couldn't play polar or bend because they'll die, right?
of course.
But over there, like just the condition of everything,
Yeah.
it's just picturesque.
That's so cool.
We also had like water buffaloes walk through the fairways, monkeys, like.
It's it's that close to being.
I'm like, can you move, please, Moose? Like,
Moose is clown. It's like you knob.
it's like ridiculous.
Yeah. So again, completely foreign to what you're used
Completely
to.
foreign.
I mean, a couple of kangaroos jumping across the first fairway.
You know
Darren
what?
Bat.
That final stage though, like the second hole, I looked at all the houses and I'm like, Kung Fu Panda was definitely filmed here. Just the top of the houses just looked
So
exactly
it's
the same.
rural. You're in a rural area.
Mate, I was on the island. Like there was no word. There was no English spoken.
Wow.
No
So
English.
actually, that's another thing with the
this is
language
another-
barrier. How did
You
what
don't.
did you do?
You don't.
You figure it out. you figure it out, or you don't eat.
I don't want to be ignorant or naive here.
Do it.
This is legit. Did
Yeah.
you have to like silent like if you went to a restaurant and said I don't know like eat I want to eat like you can't because you can't say to
or
them,
using like
I
Google
want
Translate a fair bit.
Mate, you translate everything.
Yeah.
So like little things like being able to check into your accommodation took an hour because you're going back and forth. You're like, oh, I booked here, and you're like, ding, like they're showing like they're translating back, and you're like, wow, I got to do this for 3 weeks while I was over there.
crazy.
Not only 3 weeks, you got to do it for the next year.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do
Well,
this.
that's just on the island. We don't play a lot of golf on the island.
Yeah,
Like,
okay,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
when I was flying out, I went to Hong Kong, and that was like, oh, English. I was so happy. I was like, yes, I can understand people. But like, you go over to China, like the TV, it is just Chinese war movies. You cannot change it to English. Like ridiculous. You cannot. You couldn't use Instagram. You couldn't use like emails.
Did people look at you like you look alien because
Yeah, especially
like
on the island. The first day
you
walking out of the
because
hole,
you would have I'm assuming you'd be significantly taller than everyone.
it was Dad and I, right? So we're walking out of our hotel on first day,
and your old man's a big
Your old
man
man's a
too.
very similar build
Yeah.
to what you are as well. Like
You two are both
the apple
six-
doesn't fall far.
mate. Like
you both
Dad
are
just-
6'5" and built very
yeah.
well.
Like Dad just wanted Macca's the whole trip. Like, I remember us.
I
getting
know
in-
your dad too. The poor fucker. Like
All I want is 6 Big Macs.
Mate, like I remember after I got through first stage and we had a day at the hotel, and Dad's like, "Come on, Tobes, I found a McDonald's. It's 3 hours that way. We're jumping in a taxi and we're going." So we drove to Well, we didn't drive, but we got an Uber, like a Diddy, and you have to do it through WeChat. It's all in Chinese. Like
Yeah.
it's so hard to order. We got one and we drove 3 hours. No idea where we're going. We just
just to
plugged
get
in
to a
McDonald's.
McDonald's. Yeah.
We were there for 10 minutes. I've never seen two people, Dad and I, smash more Maccas, and it was cheap in my life. And then we ordered an Uber, went back 3 hours.
6 hour round trip for a quarter pounder and a couple of nuggets.
Sure.
That's
Holy-
it, mate. That's it.
Surely the amount of food you guys ate would have just been
So it cost us 500 RMB, right? Which
Right.
is equivalent to $100 Australian.
Right.
Okay. Now, if we ordered that food in Australia,
You'd come home with kilos.
it'd be a mortgage.
Yeah.
It would be $1,000.
Yeah.
that's mental.
Mate, I think we came back. We had burgers for the next day for our bus trip back to the final stage. We went nuts.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We went mental. It was like two people have never eaten in their life. We were 3 hours, mate. You know
Yeah,
how
but
silly
you would-
that sounds?
Yeah, no-
3 hours for
yeah.
Macca's.
No, it doesn't sound silly. It is silly, right?
I love it.
But I
love the
completely
hustle,
get
though.
it. I
I'm
completely
sick of
get it
eating
because you said
turtle.
it earlier. You said it
Yeah.
earlier that you were taking on a new experience, going to a country you'd never been
so
to before.
funny.
Correct.
Right? And you're in an environment that is 180 degrees polar opposite to what you're used to being here in Australia.
No English.
Zero. Right?
Not hello, like nothing.
How did you go on the subject of food? How did you go eating the local cuisine? Because it would have been
I ate dumplings and fried rice.
for 3 weeks.
Yeah, except for that day we had Macca's.
That's
Literally.
I don't.
I
And
ate
is that
something
because
didn't get me sick, and I just ate it every day.
that was going to be my
Yeah,
next question?
yeah,
Is it
that's-
is it a safety thing or is it just a this is what I like? I'm going to stick to
It's
it.
also probably a comfort thing
Both.
too. You don't want to go out of your comfort zone and then make yourself crook when you're trying to plan
Well,
an event. You're
the
going to eat
thing-
something that you know.
Correct.
The thing is, we went out of our comfort zone without even knowing we went out of our comfort zone.
Okay.
So that fried rice we had
Was
for the
comfort.
first week had stuff in it that you would never eat in your life.
Oh right, okay.
Like,
okay.
that had spam in it. It had turtle.
Yeah.
We'll eat it. And I was
Turtle?
We didn't know at the time, but
You're just
yeah,
eating it.
turtle. It's wild. Actually, try it.
Crazy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Not bad.
Dude, I own
It was
a
like
turtle.
jelly. It was like jelly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Jelly.
So foreign.
Weird.
Yeah, right.
They eat everything, man. Rats
I've heard that.
and
I've
dog.
heard that.
So, like, you know how people
The
are like,
stereotype
they eat
is there.
dog?
Yeah.
So they don't eat cat, it's dog, and it's called Go, which is Gou, and it's actually on the menu.
Right.
Really?
I translated it, and I'm like, I know what that means, and I am not eating a golden retriever.
That's
Like
harsh.
but it's true. Like
Yeah.
they and they love it.
Yeah, really.
So, and when I was over there as well, it was Gonzi Fasha, which is Chinese New Year, the year of the snake
course.
as well.
Yeah.
And so whatever year it is, they eat that food. So
Yeah, of
they
course.
just ate snake all week. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
and
it's
you again,
crazy.
like you're walking in wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, going, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
It's just a culture
I'm just here to
shock,
play
innit?
golf.
It's
I'm
just
just
a
here to play
culture
golf.
shock,
It's
isn't
like,
it?
it's so much, like you just, that's what you think.
It's a culture shock.
You know what? Look, I can't wait till we get you back in here in a year's time after you've had a year on the tour, right? And we hear all the news stories about your experiences and how different your views have changed. Because I reckon it's gonna smack you in the ass, 100%. But it's also gonna you're gonna come back being like, this is home.
You
Like,
build for it. Yeah, 100%. But it's just such a, that first, when we stepped outside of the hotel room,
Yeah.
because that first place we went to was so foreign. That was like going to Corio, I reckon, in
Yeah.
Australia. Like it was the back end of nowhere.
yeah, right.
Yeah, you just did not leave the hotel room because you just had no idea where you're going.
Yeah,
When we left the hotel and we turned right down the back alley and they were just everywhere, just staring. And you're like, what do? You can't speak to them. They're just staring like this.
And
It's so weird.
Again, you'd have to think that you're on an island
Yeah.
off the coast of China, I'm assuming, that the locals wouldn't have seen you.
No, I don't think any
Or
of those
any-
locals have
anybody-
left that island. I don't think half of them would have been to the mainland of China.
Yeah.
Like it was so wild.
So yeah, you're not just playing in China. You're playing in the rural of rural areas.
But that's final step.
I don't know how to feel about it. Like,
I would have loved just to see like a bird's eye view of you walking down the street or something like that. And because like I'm not saying the stereotype, it's a fact. Like the people over there, especially of the Asian people, are shorter people.
Mate, they are dwarfs.
Like that's
They
what I
are
mean. So
tiny.
seeing someone
No,
of your
serious.
height and your old man being 6'4", 6'5",
It looked like it was King Kong versus Godzilla.
It's
They were
like,
just like,
it's just yeah. Well, that's what. No, literally, I would have just loved to see the people looking at you, going, "What are you doing here?"
yeah.
and they just stare, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Stare.
Well, because they've never seen someone like
never
you
seen
before. They've never
They
seen
just
someone.
lock eyes for ages.
They've
and
never
you're
seen
like,
someone like you before.
Stop.
Yeah, that's just,
But let's get back on track. So because this is going to drift. Right? We've already drifted. And it's fine. It's what it's all about.
that's the point.
20 events, right? 3 potential European tour events co-sanctioned, right? Surely they're obviously the pinnacle. There's only 3 of them,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
I want to sort of know what your goals are for the next sort of 12 months. We'll go back to what the golf's all
Yeah, for
about,
sure.
right? You're guaranteed 20 starts.
Yeah.
Is it 20 made cuts? Is it 15 made cuts? Is it a win?
You know what? For this year, I'm trying to. It's to keep your card.
Keep the card.
And I'd like to be in contention in 5 events going into that back 9. Simple as that. Just a chance to win.
So contention means 3 shots.
3 shots max.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I want to be in contention for 5 events. Like I'm not finishing outside top 3 for those 5 events.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
You know what I mean?
And do you think, with all due respect, do you
Yeah.
think it can genuinely be done?
Mate, I've been playing probably the best golf I've played my whole entire life for the last 6 months.
The results speak for themselves. Like you said,
Like,
you made the cut at the Vic Open down here. You've done really well
Like
over in
I've
China.
I've made 4 of the last 5 cuts in Australia.
Yep.
And then China, I pretty much made 2 cuts, like first stage and final stage to get my card. Like I've been playing really good golf, and it's just growing up, maturity.
Well,
really.
speaking of people that go through, especially tour pros that go through Q School. Q School is the hardest thing about a tour pro.
Yeah.
Like I know firsthand, the 2 Q schools that I went to were the hardest weeks of my entire life.
Yeah.
Like both mentally and physically, and
for
golf,
anyone-
like the pressure, like it's the. Like I've been told that the hardest part is the Q School. Once you're on the tour, then you can breathe a little bit, and then you just got to worry about travel.
For anyone that's actually listening to this podcast, that tour school is like an interview.
Yeah. Job interview.
And it's one job interview. Imagine if you've got one job interview for the whole year.
Yeah.
And your whole year's salary and what you make relies on that job interview.
Yeah.
You'd be shitting bullets.
Exactly. That's what I mean. It
like,
relies on you say
brutal.
one wrong thing, and the guy's like, no.
Yeah, done.
And that's
no
one bad
different-
hole.
we can
no
say what we
difference at
want.
tour school.
We can say what we want about where you go to have those interviews, right?
Correct.
But ultimately, you're there to do a job, right? The cultural things and where you go to play and the differences between what you've experienced at home and where you are currently, that's all hearsay.
Correct.
Right? And it's amazing to travel the world and play this sport. But like you said, your salary over the next 12 months is determined by how well you hit that little ball down that hallway of a first hole.
100%.
Like that's a good point
true.
though. I don't want to sound like a dick here, but the hardest part is done.
Yeah.
Within reason. Reason.
Well, correct. I've got 20 opportunities this year to keep my card.
Correct.
Where to get my card, I had one opportunity.
One. Exactly. That's
So I can miss a cut by one shot this year.
Yeah.
yeah.
But then I can also make a cut by one shot, have a really good weekend, and finish top 5.
Yeah.
And almost wrap up my card for the year.
Yeah, exactly.
You bought the most expensive lottery ticket you've ever purchased.
Correct.
Right? And you won.
Yeah.
Only to find out that you then received 20 free lottery tickets for a lottery that's a hell of a lot bigger.
So you just go nuts. You just stick to your processes and you just go mental.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
Go
That's
play.
Mate. We are super, super proud of you. And
Genuinely.
everything, and everything you've accomplished, mate, because
That's so
I've
sick.
known you for a few years now through Heidelberg, and I've, as Heidelberg members, we've been on this journey with you. When you,
100%.
your tours through the US and Oz Tour School and all that kind of stuff. You're on the Oz Tour, couple years on the Oz Tour, and now it's like this. It's a different Toby I'm seeing in front of me.
You're making
and
some
I'm
noise.
being genuine when I say it, right? You're a hell of a lot of a different bloke just in the way you've presented yourself today and how you've spoken, and your goal's fucking shining, dude.
Yeah.
Compared to the 20-year-old
That's
kid
it.
that I knew at Berg,
That's it,
pumping balls over the fence and shit. So like,
We're just doing dumb shit.
just doing dumb shit.
hitting balls
Just
on the low
dumb.
Falling up the hill on the
Like, get
seventh
on
tee
a golf
box.
cart and just like laying on your back and getting the push. You remember that? Like,
Yeah.
up
just-
four.
Just
Remember when we put the
stupid-
Remember when we used to
stupid
put the
boy.
carts in neutral and push them down 14?
Oh mate, remember when
I can't believe
when
we didn't die.
Snapchat-
I can't
you know
believe we
how
didn't
Snapchat
die.
had like the speed.
Yeah.
So Joel,
I can't believe we didn't die that day. I can't believe we didn't die.
I don't know where I got this idea from. But
You're
there's
gonna love this, guys. Listen to this.
So there's a member at the golf club that's Fossil.
Yeah, Fossil.
We all know who Fossil is.
And so we always use this golf cart, right,
Yeah,
when
of
we
course.
play holes. And I don't know where I got this idea, but it was to tie a bit of string around the toe mode.
Yeah.
And hole 14 is the highest part of Heidelberg.
Yeah.
And it was
And the
pretty
steepest.
The steepest because it goes
steepest.
14 down to 15 down to the 16th dam.
Yeah.
And like the speed we were going at, we could have almost jumped that 16th dam. So we're and mind you, there is gutters, there's trees, there's ropes
Everywhere.
Sorry, Heidelberg Golf Club, if you're listening, but there's stakes that have been taken out on this journey. And we have pulled. So you get the golf cart and you're fanging it. And as soon as the cart's fully locked, you grab the string, we both lift up,
Yeah.
and you just yank the string and it changes it to tow mode.
Yeah.
So the momentum of the golf cart just keeps on picking up and up and up. And then Joel got the Snapchat out to see how fast we're going. We're doing 63 kilometers down a hill.
In a golf cart.
With
With
no brakes.
In a golf cart.
With no brakes.
No brakes.
No brakes. They don't work.
All we have is Toby at the wheel like this, holding on, and I'm holding on to everything, going
For dear
turn,
life.
turn, and we have to go through these two trees at the bottom of the 14th hole.
Yep, I know the ones.
Back right of the green.
Yep.
And
next,
you
to,
have
next to the gully.
next to the gully,
That,
and you
like,
have
will end your
30,
life.
you have 30 centimeters either side of the cart to slot it through, going 70 k's an hour.
We are humming. And because the brakes don't work at this point,
How do you stop?
you have to pull the string and hopefully it goes back into normal mode.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't work, we are swimming
We're fucked.
in the dam.
We're fucked.
We are either jumping Dukes of Hazzard style over the dam or we are in the bottom of it. And we did that for a month. We didn't even play golf. We took as much weight off that golf cart as possible. No clubs. The boys would see us just going to the top of 14 in a golf cart with no golf clubs.
And they're like, what are you doing?
Straight from school.
We're
Straight from school.
And people would ask us, what are you doing? We're scouting the golf course for Saturday's comp
Yeah,
round.
yeah.
Oh, we're doing pin locations, no worries. And you just see us screaming, whoa! That's all you... and you just hear me, turn!
We
We should have died.
How have I never heard this story before?
I don't know.
we try to keep it as quiet as possible because we had so much fun doing it. And
You've done a great job up to now.
mate, I don't know how that got. We went through 2 golf carts doing this, right? So the first one we flipped. So Zach Jones. We
Yeah,
all know
no,
Zach
that wasn't me.
Jones.
I wasn't there for that one.
Jonesy.
I wasn't there for that one.
We flipped the first one.
Yeah, right.
That first one, the whole roof actually come off it. I don't know how our heads didn't. Like we hit the tree. We hit the branch of the tree and it just took the whole thing off. So we're driving past, no golf clubs. Like I
Right.
think my driver snapped Zach's golf bags halfway up in the tree. And then we're driving. The golf cart still worked, and we're driving past the pro shop with no roof in the golf cart.
And the clubs are gone.
Head down, going to Fossil's house to tell him that we've fucked his golf cart. A month later, Foss gets a new one, and we're doing the same shit.
And that's when I come along. Because Tobes calls me. He goes, because Tobes calls me. Then like a week later, he goes, "Oh, you remember that cart we busted?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "There's another
back."
one." I'm like, "I'll see you in 10."
And it was faster.
I'm like, "I'll see you in 10." He goes, "Meet me." He goes, "Meet me on the bottom of." I think it was like the bottom of 12. He goes, "Meet me there. I'll grab you." I'm like, "No worries." So I'm running up 10 like this with no clubs, running like this, and he goes, "Cop in." I'm like, "No worries." What do I do? He goes, "Pull this." When I say pull, I'm like, "No worries." And he goes, "Now." And I go like this. And I'm like, "Whoa!" Anyway, I can't believe I didn't die. So
Ridiculous.
I would never have thought to do something like that.
please, no one. That's
Do not try
that's
this at
confident.
home.
Just
Do
don't
not try
it.
this at all.
Nah,
we shouldn't have-
I believe that you got to try it once. Because I've never had that much fun on a golf course.
you
To
imagine-
inquire, send us a DM and Toby will take you down 14.
Please make sure your life insurance is in check.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh my god, it's terrible. Please, I hope Heidelberg is not listening to that. 'Cause
Someone's listening. They're always listening.
best.
Andy Stewart, if you're listening, you cannot report this to the golf club.
It never happened though.
Apparently, he can't report anything to the golf cart because he flipped one too, didn't he?
I have no idea. This is confidential. I don't know anything.
Second cut questions.
Dumped you in.
Second cut questions.
Let's go to questions from the second cut. Now, Tobes, Joel's told you about this segment. Little question at the end of the segment or podcast we have for each other. Have you got one?
I do. I do.
So
I've
no
got-
pressure.
Are we going to have to cut it out?
We'll have you do last.
Yeah, let's
So to
have
finish
you
off
go
the
last, or
Yeah,
do you want to,
alright.
or do you want to go first or second? You can pick.
So it's just a question for you two, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a random ass question.
Yeah.
Do you want to go last or do you want to go now?
I'll go first.
you want to
Alright,
go
go.
first?
I'll go first.
I like it.
So if you let's say both of you were caddying for a world class tour professional. Like
Okay.
we're talking Asia, Europe, PGA, something that gets hosted on TV every week.
Okay.
You're leading.
Yeah.
So the mic's on you and you get a yardage wrong. So there's no rangefinders, but there's just yardage books. And you get a yardage wrong by 10 meters. Right. And he flushes it over the pin, goes in the back hazard.
Yeah.
Do you play
Dumb.
defense and be like, oh, that's a really, like, you just must have flushed it? Or do you own up and say, I fucked up and gave you the wrong yardage?
This is a phenomenal question.
Because we know this has happened a few times on tour and the caddies like own up. They're like, oh, shit, sorry. But what are you two doing? Are you owning up or are you going straight defensing and being like, you fucking hit it too hard, mate?
So my
That's a great question.
adrenaline, you just smoked it. I think, oh shit. In the moment, I think my guilt will take over, and I would be like, "That was 135, not 145."
Yeah.
Like I reckon my guilt would take over. I would want to bullshit it,
Yeah, 100%.
and say,
I'm the same.
and say, "Adrenaline's pumping, dude. You just smoked it." And
But like,
oh my
it's
god,
also
what a
your,
question, Jesus!
Yeah, but it's your job to know that his adrenaline's pumping too. So I
I'd genuinely be like, there's a gust. I don't know. It must have gusted.
you're fucking kidding. Where did that come from?
You know what? You know what? The first thing that pops into my head is 2000 US Open at Pebble on the 18th when Tiger hits a hook into the shit, into the ocean,
Yeah.
and
Steve didn't have
Steve's
Steve
only
didn't
got
have
one
enough
golf ball.
balls, and he hands him the last golf ball. He just stands there like this.
Yeah. Do I tell him? Or
Like, do I say anything? Like,
And then Tiger only asked him about it after he signed the scorecard after the round.
yeah.
But you can't not say anything. You have to say something. You go in defense, like just being like, mate, you fucking hit it too well, or you gotta say, I fucked up.
Oh, what a question, man.
I'm kind of in the same boat as Joel. Is like my initial thought would be to lie through my fucking ass.
That's the same as me.
right.
Initially, I'll
and
be
just
like,
go,
oh my
brother,
god.
you've pumped it.
Group
right?
five, mate.
Actually,
Group five.
initially I'll be like, oh my god,
What
like he's
club
gonna
did I
hate
give
me.
you?
He's gonna hate me. Like he's gonna hate me for this. He's gonna blame me because
Yeah.
he's now lost the tournament because I've
Yeah.
said the wrong number.
Yeah.
But I think I would have to
You
tell him
have
in
to
the
own
moment.
up because
In the moment,
if
too.
you're talking about a top level professional
such a-
golfer, someone. All right, let's just put a
Someone
name
that
to it. You're
knows
caddying.
something's wrong.
You're caddying for Xander Schauffele. Let's just say, right?
Yeah.
you're probably hoping to keep your job as well.
Well,
after
it's
that.
worth a bit of money, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
And
That's a
the best
expensive shot.
The best way to go about keeping your job in that scenario is probably to own up.
Yeah.
Admit you're wrong and just go, sorry, man. Like, I fucked it here. Like, I gave you the wrong yardage. I've miscalculated.
Yeah.
If you lie through your teeth and he catches you, you're gone.
Yeah.
You
Mm.
fucked it. Firstly, number one, you're gone. Like you've made
Number
that
one, you made the mistake. Two, you lied about it.
Correct.
I think I would want to go. You smoked it. I would want to, but I don't think I could. I think I'd have to tell him.
Yeah.
I think I'd have to tell
It's
him.
like the old, you're in school, you muck around, you end up in the principal's office.
Yeah.
You lie and you get suspended. But
get
you
in
tell
more
the
trouble.
truth. You tell the truth and you only get a detention.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I
true.
mean?
I love getting suspended.
We know.
So you're lying through your teeth. If you were to answer this
We
question,
know.
if you were to lie,
You're blaming him.
Sorry, if you were to answer this question, you're lying through your teeth.
I'm telling him, mate, you hit that way too fucking hard. That was your fault.
Really?
And then
You're
I'm
cheeky.
finding another golf bag.
Let's
next
reverse
week.
let's reverse the roles. All right. You might be in this scenario one day.
Yeah.
As might you. Right? Yeah. What would you do if that was you? You've been given a yardage of 135 meters. So I'm taking you're probably going to pull a pitching wedge or a 9-iron.
Yeah.
Right? But it's 125 or it's 115. You only need like a flick wedge.
And I've come fifth. I lost the event.
Yeah. You're in a
What would you
three-way
rather your
or
caddy
you're in
do?
you're in a three-way playoff.
Would you rather not know that he stuffed up the yardage, or just think that you've just pumped it in the situation?
Well, deep down, I know that I'm not hitting the golf club at our level 10 meters further.
That is the perfect answer, because
I know something's wrong.
that is the first thing that I would have thought of.
100%.
Because I'll be like,
I'll be like, you fucked it.
yeah, something's wrong here.
You fucked me.
Yeah, I thought the exact same thing as you then.
I would find that if it wasn't like a major
Yeah.
and it was just an event and I was already keeping my car,
Everyone's made mistakes.
And
It's
I'm
like,
like-
relax. Like,
I'd find it almost a little bit funny.
yeah.
Okay.
But I'd want to kill him straight away. I'd find it funny Tuesday next week.
yeah.
At the time, I'm making him jump in and try and find that golf ball.
Yeah. Nah, fair enough.
With the club in his ass.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Do you want
I'll
to
go
go first?
and then you top us off and then you lead us out.
Is yours of what variety is yours though? Because mine's a pretty serious one for Tobes.
Mine's not a piss take.
All right, cool.
So
Go first.
Aside from making the China tour and getting your card, what do you think your biggest achievement is? Like your number one career highlight, apart from obviously making the China tour and the Aussie tour. Scrap them.
I had a really good year as an amateur in 22 when I went to the States.
Yeah,
we're
I remember
talking-
hearing about this when you got
If we're
back.
talking about golf.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I would say that year when I was in the States, and then I went to Asian Tour School. I missed my card by one shot at final stage, so I got ADT that year. That was a really good year. But golf-wise would be 22. Life-wise, my biggest achievement would probably just be growing into the person I want to be over the last couple of years.
Yeah, because
That's such a
you're a
good
different
answer.
human. That's a good
Like,
answer.
having more respect for your mum, your dad,
Yeah.
girlfriend at the time now, like love my life. Like just that stuff is so much better and more helpful while you're being away on tour, knowing that you actually
correct.
got people at home that care.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you learn that they're only there trying to do the best by you and not
Just tell you what to do all the time.
correct.
Yeah,
correct. They got your interest at heart. But golf guys 22, but
What did that entail? What was that? Wins? Was that just a better golf year than previous? Was that?
I think I had the most fun that year. Being in America, being young, just met some cool people. Just
It was,
having a
it was
ball.
almost
It
like
was a
your
mix.
gap year. It was almost like,
Correct.
yeah.
And I played some really, really good golf that year. And then, but yeah, I'm a better golfer now. But that year was probably my career highlight of fun. But also, career highlight was playing my first Aussie Open as an amateur, right?
Yeah,
2
That
years
was
ago.
sick.
That
That
was
was sick.
cool.
yeah.
Like having a playoff with Kyle Michelle and Josh Greer at Spring Valley going up 18. And yeah, that was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, right. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Great answer.
No,
Yeah.
fantastic
Unreal
answer.
answer.
mate.
Good
Really,
question.
yeah.
Good answer.
And to be honest, not the answer I was expecting from Tobes, to be perfectly honest with you. I just didn't think you'd give us a whole sort of not mature, but a whole
different
lifestyle.
man.
He's a
An
different,
emotional side.
an
He's a
emotional
different man.
side.
Yeah.
I
That
just-
kind of hit me in the feels.
I thought, to be honest, knowing Tobes, I thought he'd turn around and be like, I won club championships 1 year at Berg, and it was the fucking biggest shit.
I won by 39 shots.
Yeah, beat this bloke by 14 and just, yeah.
Lockie Allen, who?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Don't worry, we're mates. It's all right.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Well, I think so.
Not now, not
Yeah,
anymore.
obviously not.
My question for you, Tobes, what is the one thing on the Chinese tour in the next 12 months that you're looking forward to the most?
The experiences.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Like, obviously, when you get a chance to compete, you fucking compete the fuck. Like,
Yeah.
you go hard.
Yeah.
But the experiences, the knowledge that I'll gain to be able to come home and obviously teach other people, because I coach.
Yeah.
Right? I coach, and being able to pass my experiences on when they go and travel. Just probably that side of things.
No, awesome.
But also, I want to fucking win. We all want to win.
Of course.
Simple
You're not
as that.
going there if you don't want to win.
Nah.
What's the
There's-
point?
there's
That's the
no
Tiger
better-
mentality. Why go there if you're not going, I'm going to win this?
Correct.
I'm going to win this week. Whether you make the cut or not, I'm
Exactly.
winning this
Like,
week.
Mate, the tough reality of golf is if you don't win, no one gives a fuck about you. It's as simple as that.
It's a sad reality.
So
It's-
do we
it's-
do
it
we know
sounds
who
harsh.
finished second the New Zealand Open that just left?
Well,
No.
we do, but
Well,
the
do-
vast majority of the viewers,
like,
like,
do-
everyone
like-
sees, congrats to Ryan Peake. What a week and what a story. But
But do we know who finished top three and made over $100,000 for 4 days' work?
the
Do we
the
know?
general public doesn't.
No.
The general public doesn't know that Ryan Peake won.
No, absolutely they do.
I
But
reckon, mate, well, it did make front page
It's-
3 weeks before AFL starts.
exactly,
Okay,
it's
that's
a
pretty sick.
huge
Like,
headline.
that's pretty cool.
It's a
All right.
huge headline.
That's it.
Like, that's pretty cool. But, like, no, I couldn't even tell you, and I followed. I couldn't even tell you who come second and third.
Off the top of my head,
And-
I would have to actually give it a
and I
couple
don't-
seconds to
And I
think
don't
about
give
it.
a fuck either who comes second and third. Like, they care because their bank balance is
awesome.
Yeah.
But, like, would you much rather win $15 million through your whole career and live a happy life? Or would you much rather win $5 million but have 2 victories? And that's all you've done.
Yeah, true.
Like,
Well,
you know what I mean? You'd much rather
That's
have 2
that's
victories.
that's actually kind of reminded me of how Kevin Kisner kind of puts it. They go, "Oh, you're spewing that you haven't won in so long and stuff like that." He goes, "What are you talking about? They pay heaps for 20th.
Yeah, I know. But,
Like it's like a weird mentality."
people still know Keys because he's won.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like, if he comes top 30, no one's talking about him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're kind of only in the news and in the spotlight if you keep winning.
Like Jack Carter. We know Jack Carter's lost in 3 playoffs this year.
Yeah, he's had an amazing
An
season,
amazing season.
but he's not a tour winner. Unfortunately, I would have loved
then-
to see Jack win a couple of events because he's been there quite often, actually,
he's such a good bloke. And
and he's an amazing player.
Exactly. And it's sad to not see him get over the line once.
Yeah.
But the harsh reality is there's no difference between him and second, though, is there? Him and third
Yeah.
or him and fifth.
Or him and a guy that just made the cut.
Exactly.
You know,
your
yeah.
name doesn't go on a
That's
trophy.
well point.
You
Yeah, it's
don't-
well
You
point.
don't get the fame that comes with it, like the Instagram post or
Yeah.
you get
All the
nothing.
accolades, you get
or
nothing.
you don't get the tournament winner category. You get nothing.
Nothing.
Cool. You kept your card, man. You just there's
You
no
just earned-
difference between you coming 4th on the order merit and losing in 3 playoffs, or you coming 39th or 49th and keeping your full card. You're playing the same events.
Yeah.
You just might have made a bit more money. But
Yeah.
you
What's
only
that?
get defined about how many wins you have.
No.
Yeah.
That's a really good way to put it. It's the harsh reality of the sport at a professional level.
It sucks.
Unfortunately,
it
you win.
sucks.
You lose
It
99
sucks.
points.
It sucks.
You lose 99.9% of the time.
I reckon you almost lose 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Because even if you win an event, right? Are you happy?
In the moment,
At
probably.
that moment, I think yes.
Are you happy? And then what happens Monday, Tuesday next week? What do?
You're prepping for a new event.
life goes
moves
on.
pretty quickly.
You forget
Time-
it. You forget about it. It's a
You
new
don't-
event.
You don't just get to stop and enjoy it.
That's why I said like the greats
That's well
are
put.
remembered so
That's well
fondly
put.
because they keep winning,
Yeah, they can't do it so often.
Keep presenting.
right?
Keep showing
Everyone
up.
will talk about
Keep showing up.
Hideki winning the Masters once, and
Correct.
that'll always be the stat. But they'll talk about Scotty more because he won it twice, and they'll talk about Tiger.
Not even that.
hang
Not
on.
even
They'll
that.
talk about Tiger even more because he won it.
Broke records.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they break records. Like,
100%.
these are the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
Hideki's in
Who's the
in
worst major winner?
Who's the worst major winner?
Yeah.
Patrick Reed.
Nah.
Wow.
Nah. Wow.
Huge.
That's.
I
You
rate
mean,
it.
you mean a Ryder Cup player?
I rate
Live
it.
golfer?
I don't like him.
I don't like him either. But
Shovel.
But yeah, shovel. Excavator. The worst major winner, I have respect for all of them in fairness, but to answer your question, I think Danny Willett.
I was going to say that. Danny Willett.
I think Danny Willett. Like, amazing week he had at the Masters to win a green jacket, but he also lost his card 2 years later. Yeah. So, like, credit to him.
Or Adam Scott. Just kidding.
my face went like,
You're kidding. Do you play golf?
I'm like, what?
That was me.
But yeah, credit to Danny Willett for having that week, and he has had a good career. Yeah. And he won the Masters. Credit to him. But in terms of the other major winners,
I remember
I'm not sure he can quite fill those shoes.
What a comment, though. The worst major winner.
Yeah.
Like,
Imagine that.
He still won one.
You're literally a goat.
I would love to be the worst major winner right now. I wish I was the worst major winner.
I'd love to come 20th in one.
I'd love to just go watch one.
Yeah, literally.
That's it. Yeah, I'd love to go watch one.
Your question.
Yeah.
I've already asked it.
Oh, yeah.
I did. That's what led us to this 15-minute conversation.
I don't listen to you.
Yeah, I know you don't. Before we wrap it up, ladies and gents, thank you very much for listening. Toby, thank you so much for coming in, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure.
It's just good to catch up, isn't it?
Absolutely. And we're going to get you back sort of when you're back in the country. Obviously, you've got a very hectic 12 months coming up. We're going to want to hear all about it. I'm sure everyone else is going to want to hear all about it in 12 months' time. But no, thank you so much, mate. It's been a real pleasure to get you in.
It's been good fun.
Shishi.
You got to teach us some stuff when you come back.
That's it. You got to teach us some Chinese.
I got so much Chinese, but it sounds so harsh.
Try and learn the
Because it's a
worst
thick
words
Aussie
in
accent.
down. Like, you're actually saying it aggressively for it to come out. Like, Jing down means like bill, right?
Yeah.
So, like, check.
Yeah.
You want to pay for something.
Yeah.
And you say it and you're like, fuck, that's so.
Like, did I just yell at them?
Just yell at them.
Yeah.
But that's how they understand. You say Jing down, you're like, Jing down. And they're like, oh, okay. But they can't understand you.
But the tone doesn't
tone's
matter.
different.
You have to say it aggressive. Everything.
Yeah,
Wow.
because to us it sounds aggressive. To them it sounds normal.
Because we obviously respond to tones differently.
Correct. Must
Like,
be. Must
if
be.
if I said get fucked, you're smiling. If I said get fucked,
Yeah, true.
you put a frown on your face. They respond to a tone.
Yeah, we're putting hands up.
that's it.
We're mitts are coming off.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But no, we are going to get you back in a year's time or so once you're back in the country after your first year on the tour, and we're really excited to see what you can produce over there. It's a massive achievement, mate.
Appreciate
we're really
it, boys.
proud of you. Ladies and gents, like I said, if you've been listening on Spotify, head over to YouTube, drop a like and a comment, subscribe. Please hit the subscribe button. Does us massive wonders. There are still spots available for the golf day coming up at the end of the month. 3 spots as far as I'm aware at time of recording, which is Tuesday the 4th of March. If you're interested in a head cover, you can see them up here. Let us know. Hit us up in the DMs. We are still taking orders for those. Thanks to all the sponsors for the golf day. Thank you, Toby. Where can people follow you on Instagram and Twitter? Or do you have Twitter?
Nah, just Instagram.
Just Instagram?
Yeah.
And your username for that or your handle?
Just Toby Walker.
Toby Walker. Fantastic. We'll add that in the description down below. Joel, thank you very much. Toby, thank you so much for coming in. Ladies and gents, we'll see you next week. Hit them very, very well. Cheers.